thing about it. And I mean, not only have you done, your project with Arrested Development, you've done critically acclaimed albums alongside Jahi.
That's right. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Jahi, who's also down with, he's part of Chuck's crew. In fact, he was the releasing album under the name of Enemy Radio. The whole, that thing when Flavor had been quote unquote fired from Public Enemy. Do you remember that thing?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was kind of a hype thing to hype up Enemy Radio. Yeah. But but there was Enemy Radio was released with Jahi. Jahi's been representing, man. Let's say that Jahi, this year alone, he's been on BET Cypher. He was with Nas, Rhapsody, YG, Black Thought, Chuck on the same track.
Wow.
He had 8 bars. Yeah. This was after into the album. After. So yeah, he toured worldwide. He's toured worldwide with Chuck. So yeah, that album. Because to take it back to 2017, basically Chuck D offered me a record deal, sorry. And I took it and I released an album out through him called Configuration Volume 1, which had, I'll just name a few artists. Chuck D obviously was on there. There was Craig G, Rex, Spoonie G, Sean P. Sean P was on there, which is crazy. He recorded just before he died. Just legends, man. Legends upon legends. Who else was on there? There's a few other cats on there. But fundamentally, Craig G, Rex, Chuck D. Yeah. I big up my man John Vietnam. John Vietnam, for any boom bap purist, is this guy who saved someone else's life at 19 years old, and he drowned, saving someone else's life, and he's on the album as well. And I represent for John because me and him became quite tight before he died, and he was only 19 when he died. And I represent. I like to put as much as I can because I love his family. I love his dad Joe. We have a John Vietnam event every year, and I participated virtually this year. I did a track, all that kind of thing. And John Vietnam's on the same album that Craig G and all these big names are on, Sean P and Spoonie G and all that kind of thing, Rex and all that kind of thing. So sure, big of man John Vietnam. But anyway, from that point, to go back to the question, obviously Jahi I think he heard the track with Rex, and he just hollered at me. He's like, "Let's do an EP." I'm down, man. I'm down. So I knew who he was. I didn't know him, but I knew who he was. And we recorded an EP, and that led to an LP, because the vibes were good. And we put it out. We didn't have preconceptions. Little did we know that this album would be crazy. Featured in books, featured in, best of the albums, best of, the end of the year albums, because we released at the start of the year. So how we got, the album had legs. People still talking about it now. So it's been crazy. So it's been a blessing. It's just literally me on the beats, him on the rhymes, Jai on the rhymes, me on the beats. No guests, no big guests that we can sell it off. A lot of people have all these guest verses and stuff. We don't have anything. Just me and him.
It's you.
Yeah, and from that point, Speech, he knows Jahi. He's friends with Jahi. He heard it and he's like, yo. And he sent me this video, and Speech was working out to one of our tracks. And then, I was like, wow, okay. And then Speech hollered at me. He's like, let's do something. I was like, okay, I'm down. Yeah, I grew up with you, bro. Yeah, one of my idols from when I was a kid. So we did it, and then that led to Don't Fight Your Demons. I mean, like I said, last interview I did, like literally just an hour ago, we didn't start recording that until like April. And it was banged out, it was put out there by September. So
y'all put in that work, huh?
Yeah, well, absolute, man. But absolute, but Speech is a beast. Like, that guy, for someone who's been in, I keep saying this, say this in a lot of interviews, someone who's been in the industry for 30 years, and like, two Grammys, I sent him 2 beats, right? And like, literally the next day or the day after, he had returned it with full hooks, 3 verses, ad-libs. That doesn't happen much. because I work with a lot of rappers, and that does not, like, they might struggle to scramble out 8 bars or 16 bars in like in 2 days. Speech had the whole tracks done, 2 tracks done. And this is the levels I'm talking. This is levels, right? There's levels. I don't think I can curse, but there's levels to this ish, right? And Speech is operating at a different level to a lot of these other guys. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you can say whatever you want. This Boom Bap Hour Uncut. You can be yourself.
Alright, I'll bear that in mind. But yeah, I love the fact it's called Boom Bap Hour because we don't have enough love for Boom Bap actually as a I hate to call it a subgenre. Is it a subgenre? I don't think it even is it really subgenre. It's fundamentally hip hop to me. Boom Bap is hip hop.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people, they don't. I don't know. It's like some people, they think of it as in this, but it is it is fundamental.
Absolutely. Like KRS was talking about Boom Bap in '93. Like, you know, Return of the Boom Bap, right?
Yep.
So, like, you know, if you think about drums, right? Like hip hop drums, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. Come on, man. That's fundamental.
Yeah.
So I love the fact you call it Boom Bap Hour. I love the fact that it's actually a female heading that, you know, representing and being the sort of face of it. I love that actually.
Yeah, that's it.
We don't have enough females representing Boom Bap, I don't think.
Well, I'm just glad to be a part of the team. I mean, we had a dope team. You know what I'm saying? I got my two.
So big up yourself, Rubino, for that. Big up yourself for, you know, representing and being that female influence that we need. Because I work with some good PR people actually, and one of them is female. And yeah, I love the fact that there's a female influence in Boom Bap because, you know, as you know, it's saturated with guys, and I like the fact that there's a female influence driving that as well.
Yeah, well, I'm just honored to even be able to, you know, talk to legends such as yourself. And
she's too kind. Although Chuck D called me a legend. Chuck D called me a legend. Like, what's going on? Like, that people were saying to me, when that happened, you need that in your tombstone. Like, I was like, yeah, I know, for real. Like, that doesn't happen every day. Like, oh, wow, okay. There was a tweet that me and him were tweeting to each other, and he's like, he said something crazy like, legends put in the time, and Configa, you put in the time.
Yeah.
So, this is Chuck D. He is hip hop. That's crazy.
That's
I'm just a white dude from the UK. So to be ordained by one of the pastors of hip hop, it would either be him or KRS, right? I would only take this from Chuck D or KRS One. That's the only people I would like ordain. Or okay, if you could take it back, you know, to Grandmaster Flash or something. But right now, lyricist wise, KRS or Chuck D, to me, they're the only ones who can ordain the hit, you know, as a voice of hip hop. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely. Yeah. You know what? We actually have an animated series that's basically coming out on YouTube called Visual Studio Story. Funny that one of the stories is about Chuck D. And you got to see it.
Wow, okay.
I'm going to send it to you, and I hope that Chuck can see it. But Bizzo happened to meet Chuck D because his son and his, I think, his child as well, either went to the same school and wound up going to a sleepover and he didn't even know it.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, man, I've got to check that for sure.
It's a really dope story, for sure.
No doubt. Whereabouts are you based again? Whereabouts are you based?
You said what now?
Yeah, what you represent now? Whereabouts are you broadcast now?
Oh, we're coming out of Augusta, Georgia. So,
Georgia. Oh, okay. So you know, you're in sort of, you know, Atlanta area, you know, Speech, Rest Development, and Sarah and all these crazy, Killer Mike, all these crazy. You know, like, because people attribute, you know, Atlanta to like mumble rap and all these terrible people. Like, you know, I say terrible, but to me they're not good. 21 Savage and all them kind of guys. You know, I've read you now lives in Atlanta, whatever. But you know, there's a load of great MCs bubbling out of Atlanta. Like like I said, Killer Mike, Speech. Like there's loads of dudes. Obviously, you've got, you know, Andre 3000. If he comes back, 3 stars. This is dope. There's loads of... And actually, big up with my girl, Mixley. She's from California, but she now lives in Atlanta as well. And I did an EP with her, and she's getting big love in Europe. And so big up her as well.
Yes. Now, we're actually...
Make My Way EP.
Yes. We're actually in Augusta, Georgia, so we're actually in the home of James Brown, where he came from.
Oh, wow.
So away from...
That's fundamental to hip-hop, right? That's literally James Brown. Everyone knows hip hop came from James Brown samples. It's just a fact.
Absolutely, yes. So that's how we representing down here. And also, you also hold a PhD.
That's right.
And you wrote a doctoral thesis on the intersection of hip hop culture and ethnicity. Can you tell us some findings that you came across while writing your thesis? Just some things that really was like, you know, you want to share.
Good question. Because I did write it 10 years ago, and I haven't read it since. But it's still there. Anyone who's interested, hit me up. I'll give you a direct link because it's on there online. But the fundamental thing was that my area of study was where I originally come from in Newcastle, UK, where they've got a history of like sort of blues music. Do you remember? I don't know how much your history of music, your music knowledge goes back, but there was a song by the Animals, "The House of the Rising Sun." There is a house in New Orleans called the Rising Sun. Have you heard about that one?
Sounds like I know that. It sounds like it's...
Yeah, you would have heard it if you heard it on radio, like an old school radio. You'd hear it, and you wouldn't think these were white guys from the northeast of England. You would never think it, because Eric Burdon, who's actually a founded member of War. Do you remember that funk band War from the 70s?
Well, I was born in 78, but I heard of them.
So I was born in 79. So I'm even younger. But I just know, I just read and look. But yeah, but a white guy from where I come from, he was like, he got obviously, you know, started with blues and made it into funk. He got accepted in America, lives over there now. Actually, another dude, the dude from Iron Maiden, not Iron Maiden, what's the other one called? AC/DC, who my dad knows. He's like the lead singer of AC/DC. Like, Brian Johnson comes from my city. Sting comes from where I come from. Sting. You know Sting?
Yes.
Right, all these dudes. You remember Status Quo? There's a band called Status Quo. And, yeah, but they were from where I come from. They were worldwide guys as well. But anyway, besides the point, there wasn't a big hip-hop scene there. And, I took it upon myself to look at, the white appropriation of, black music in white areas, such as Newcastle. So, fundamentally I found, that, you know, through people I know and stuff, and people I was researching, is that there was a core of white people, because back in the day, there was shipbuilding opportunities, there was mining opportunities, there was all these kind of opportunities open to them, which were closed, which had been closed by the government, by the person called Margaret Thatcher, who we no longer talk about. She closed all of that shit. She destroyed the economy. So, from that point on, we had guys who, their parents went into a trajectory of employment straight away. They didn't have that. So I found that a lot of them were congregating around and forming associations through our football team, or soccer team as you call it out there, Newcastle United, and also through, a lot of them through hip-hop. And it was almost like hip-hop with the regional accent, but still fundamentally hip-hop. You know, still with scratching, still with, you know, the boom bap beats, the lyrics, some words, you know, but it was like, there was a word that was that I coined called local. So it's global yet local. So So we're talking, we're using global, like